Paddington looks for the good in all of us, and somehow he finds it.
If we're kind and polite, the world will be right.
Oh dear.
Ow.
Hey Mojoholics, I'm Rebecca Brayton and welcome to Mojo at the Movies. With me as always is resident movie reviewer Eric Cohen, and he is here to give his 5 reasons why everyone is loving Paddington 2.
Loving it. And I think, the first reason has to be Paddington 1.
Right.
I actually, when I saw Paddington 1 a couple of years ago, I was in a terrible mood. I thought I was going to hate it. I went in there and I couldn't help but be charmed by this cute little bear. And I wanted, I grew up loving the edgier bears. I liked Yogi Bear. I liked Fozzie Bear. I wasn't into the Paddingtons and the Berenstein Bears. They were too squeaky clean.
Right.
So I really thought, this is going to be. It was a bit arrogant of me. I'm above this. This is too kid-like for me. But no, it was. You saw the first Paddington.
I did, yeah. I mean, they really weren't on my radar at all. But I had seen the trailer for the second one, and then I watched the first one for prep for this. And I am embarrassed to say I was in tears the entire movie because it's so cute. And all he wants is a home and a family, and I'm just like, anyway, I was a mess.
Well, I think part of the reason that works so well is his eyes are so expressive.
Yeah.
Just his facial expressions in general, they work so well. I think you got to hand it to the CGI team because they really create such a he's such a relatable character, and I think it's so disarming. There's like it is so void of cynicism. And I think, in a world today where we're all so cynical that it's nice to have a movie like this. I remember, even just the idea in the movie, and this is as much in Paddington 2 as Paddington 1, where he's talking about Aunt Lucy and her maxims, and if you're kind and polite, the world will be right. And just saying it, those words coming out of my mouth it feels cynical, but when he says it, all is good in the world, and I think we need a little bit more of that in our cinemas these days.
Right. So I know that there is a pretty impressive British ensemble cast in the first one, and it's even expanded into the second one.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's reason number 2 is this ensemble British cast, and we were joking about this before.
It's like they took half the cast of Harry Potter, Doctor Who, guy from Downton Abbey,
just threw them all together into a movie.
And then exactly. And now they threw Hugh Grant in. So.
And so this time Hugh Grant takes over as the villain. In the first one, it was Nicole Kidman. She did a great job.
She did.
But Hugh Grant, who again, I'm not a big fan of Hugh Grant. I thought, I'm not gonna, but he was so good in this role of playing kind of a former A-list celebrity who's trying to recapture his glory and make a little money on the side. And he plays it so over the top. But not just him. There's
he doesn't
also
play villains a lot.
No.
I feel like his first one was that movie that did not do well, where they had to play lots of different things.
Well, I feel
what
that he's like I don't know, and well, you tell us.
I'll get there.
Okay, I feel that he's like a villain in real life. There, I said it. I don't.
What?
Yeah, I don't like him.
That's a hot take.
But there's my hot take. Give us your opinion in the comments. He does such a great job in this movie, but really the one who steals the show is Brendan Gleeson, who plays a prison cook. And I won't go into any details, no spoilers here, but he just delivers such an amazing performance. But the whole cast, I mean, Jim Broadbent, Hugh Bonneville, Sally Hawkins, who's in The Shape of Water, and the voice of Ben Whishaw doing Paddington Bear. So the cast also really brings it home. I would say the third point is the fact that it's silly enough for the kids. I went to see it in a theater, and there were a lot of kids there, and they just happened to be laughing at all the right beats. Like,
that's good.
The movie pushes all the right buttons for the kids as well as the adults. And so in that sense, someone was asking me if it's a bit like a Pixar movie. And I wouldn't necessarily say...
I wouldn't say that about the first one, at least.
No.
Because it's not... Because I find Pixar is a bit edgier.
Exactly.
Yeah, in their humor.
No, this is void of edge. And I would say, actually, for what it's
credit.
worth... To its credit, but also Paddington 2 is even less edgy than Paddington 1. Paddington 1, I loved the, that kind of old archival footage at the beginning when they find him in deepest Peru. Darkest Peru. Deepest, darkest. And so, yeah, this one is even more void of anything edgy. But what's interesting, and this brings us to the next point, is the production design. So I don't know if you found this as much in the first one, but the second one really almost had a Wes Anderson feel to it.
I didn't find that for the first one, but I mean, the colors really pop. I noticed that.
The colors pop, and just the kind of the way the shots are set up, the way everything looks and feels, it's surreal. And not just the fact that there's a talking bear living with the family, but the way things are framed. There's a beautiful quality to this film, and I'm not even the hugest Wes Anderson fan. I know I've given that hot take before, but I think this movie out Wes Anderson's Wes Anderson.
I think I just came up with the movie. Is it Cloud Atlas? I think it's Cloud Atlas.
Oh, yeah, well that's...
I'm going way back into this review now, but there, go.
Cloud
Sorry.
Atlas, yeah. And the fifth point is Paul King, the director. He actually has an interesting history. He did The Mighty Boosh, which is like a British comedy show that was really big in the mid-2000s. And he just has his finger on what works when it comes to Paddington. And he's lined up to do Paddington 3.
Well, that's something to look forward to. And I look forward to seeing Paddington 2 with no kids because I just want to see it for myself. See you later.
Brown P, laundry duty.
It's only one red sock. What's the worst that can happen? Afternoon, chaps.
Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.